Well, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth continues to defend the military strikes on suspected drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean and the East Pacific. Hegseth is warning cartels about bringing drugs to the U.S., saying, "We will find you and we will sink you." But in Washington, the administration is facing increased scrutiny over these strikes. NewsNation correspondent Hannah Brandt live for us at the White House tonight with the new details. Hannah.
Natasha, that's right. And it's the very first known strike in particular that's become the object of a lot of scrutiny and even raised some questions about whether the U.S. committed war crimes. And that's because of reports that suggest Secretary Hegseth specifically ordered military leaders to kill everyone during a September 2nd operation. Now, Hegseth denies that completely, calling the claim he gave that order ridiculous. Though the Trump administration has confirmed that an initial strike on alleged drug boat on that day left survivors, and has also confirmed the military then launched a second strike on that boat, which killed those survivors. Now, today, Hegseth talked about the play-by-play of that operation while speaking at the Reagan National Defense Forum. He says he wasn't in the room for that second strike, but does believe it was necessary.
Later on, a couple hours later, I was told, hey, there had to be a reattack because there were a couple folks that could still be in the fight, access to radios. There was a link-up point of another potential boat. Drugs were still there. They were actively interacting with them. Had to take that reattack. I said, Roger, sounds good. From what I understood then and what I understand now, I fully support that strike. I would have made the same call myself.
Lawmakers in both parties have expressed concern about all of this, and Congress is investigating. The admiral who Hegseth says gave the order for the second strike did brief members of Congress behind closed doors on Thursday. President Trump says he does support releasing the full video of this strike in question. Hegseth says the Pentagon is reviewing the footage now and is still deciding whether it will release the full thing. Natasha?
And Hannah, U.S. negotiators also speaking with their Ukrainian counterparts again today. What are we learning about that?
Well, today, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner held a third day of talks with top Ukrainian officials down in Miami. This is one of several meetings the group has had over the past 2 weeks. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he dialed into part of that discussion, calling his phone conversation with Witkoff and Kushner focused and constructive, adding that the Ukrainian side has agreed to further talks with the U.S. Though the Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S. revealing to NewsNation some difficult issues are still not resolved at this point, saying in a statement, quote, "The main challenges at this stage concern questions of territory and guarantees." Now, earlier this week, Witkoff and Kushner also met directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And after that meeting, President Putin said he found some parts of the U.S. peace proposal unacceptable, and he indicated he wouldn't agree to them, though he didn't say exactly what those sticking points are. Now, as these negotiations continue, the war does still rage on inside of Ukraine, with Russia launching massive missile and drone strikes on the Kyiv region overnight. Natasha?
We appreciate you tracking it. Hannah Brandt at the White House tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.